Rabbi Aaron Boxed back with my podcast once again. I know it's been a really, really long time, but I promised I would bring my podcast and all my other stuff back in the new year 2026. So here I am, the day after probably one of the most disappointing football games I have ever watched, but not disappointing because of anything that was done on the field, but disappointing because of the ending. And let me explain. What I mean by that is being a University of Georgia football fan, go dogs. It is has been very very painful. I mean, I remember back in the '90s when I was a student at UGA to win 7 games in a season, to go to a bowl and win was a big deal. But for the last 10 or so years, especially since Kirby Smart came here, and even a little bit before that when Mark Richt was here, it became much more not more fun, but we had higher expectations as a Bulldog fan. Um, we expected to have a top quarterback and top receivers, and we expected to win 8, 9, now 10 games a season. If we don't win 10 games a season, it's like a major disappointment. But the truth of the matter is, the University of Georgia football team played their hearts out last night. Gunnar Stockton has more heart and more quarterback scramble ability to get and when I mean scramble ability, I mean the ability to make a play out of something that looks like it's going to be nothing. And I'm not going to compare him at all to Trinidad because he is his own kind of quarterback. But Gunnar Stockton has the it factor, and I hope to God he comes back next year because he deserves everything. And the players, man, I've heard all the excuses. We had a young team, and this person got injured, and this person got disqualified on a targeting play, which, by the way, it was not targeting, but that's a whole nother conversation. I've heard all the excuses, all of the reasons. Oh, we shouldn't have gone for it on 4th and 2, and oh my goodness, there was a miscommunication between the coaches and Gunnar Stockton, and Gunnar should have just changed the play and run up the middle when we had the ball, at first and goal and second and goal at the end of the game. You know what? All of these things are excuses. They're reasons that we want to get out there to say, hey, we should have won or whatever. But the fact of the matter is, we have such a great football team, such great football players, and we should be thankful and blessed that we've had the opportunity to watch them and to applaud the work they've done. And you know what? No matter how bad you as a Georgia fan may feel out there, nobody feels worse than the players themselves who put their hearts on the line every single day. And I want to applaud them and send them so much love and support because they worked hard. And look, let's be clear here. Ole Miss, they're a great team. I really hope that they knock the you know what out of Carson Beck and remind him that he shouldn't have left us. Although, you know what? Had he not left us, we wouldn't have had Gunner. So I'm not upset about that. But, I hope that Ole Miss goes and tears up the Miami. And it's going to be a great final between two of the best quarterbacks out there, I think, with Mendoza and Chambliss, and it's just gonna be great. And I'm excited for that, and I'm also excited for the Georgia football team next year, because we have on our team great players, young players who have now a lot of experience who will come back, and a football coach who's the real deal. He's a Hall of Fame football coach if he doesn't win another game. Um, and But listen, let's change the mood here a little bit because we're talking about college football. We're talking about, yes, it's something that's very important in the world, and it's very important that we celebrate our wins, and get sad over our losses. But you know what? I can tell you there are so many more important things in this world that we should be concerning ourselves with. And I'm the father of 3. I have a beautiful wife. I'm thankfully a happy and healthy family. I'm a rabbi at a wonderful congregation who treats me with the same kind of love that I give to them, that I think that is deserved both ways. I have my health. I can walk outside. I can enjoy the weather. I can eat food and go to my home. These are things that are really important in life. The love and support of our families and our friends. So in 2026, let's take a little bit less of a concern. Let's concern ourselves a little bit less with the things that are mundane. That doesn't mean don't be a Georgia football fan or a football fan of any team. I'm an Atlanta Braves fan too, and it sucked that we didn't do as well last year as we could have, as we should have. But you know what? There's always room to grow for next year, and thank God I have the opportunity to watch the teams and support the teams that I have, because I have the ability to do it, because my family loves me, my family supports me, and there's so much more out there. You know, our health, our fortunes are not tied to college football or any sport. Our fortunes are tied to our belief in each other, in a higher power, I'll say God, and being able to treat each other as we would want them to treat us. And that is the message for my podcast this week. Love your neighbor. Love the people out there. Treat people with kindness and love and respect. And you know what? When the world looks dark and the world looks bad, just perk up and realize that there's always a way to make things better. If nothing else, just by going out and being and surrounding yourself with people who care about you, who love you. And if you don't feel like you have that, find me, call me, email me, text message me, and I will be that support for you, because you know what? Supporting each other is what's important this day and age. I will conclude this podcast with a go dogs as usual, but also love each other, care for each other, treat each other with kindness and respect, and there are better things to come in this world. That's a promise.